What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tino here. We are here. It's Thursday afternoon. And as you guys know, yes, we got Impact. Yes, we got Ring of Honor. But we don't cover that here on Tino's time. On Thursdays, guys, we take the time and we get you ready. And we talk about all the news that's been going on and everything that's been going on here in the baseball season. And today, we're already on episode number 5. I can't believe we've already hit 4 episodes of the SouthSide Boys. And guys, this week it's been crazy. Sox have had another 2-4 week. Jake Berger continues to hit home runs. Romy Gonzalez sucks. White Sox can't figure it out. I don't know. Is the season doomed, or can the White Sox save it? Let's find out. Let's welcome our two guys that come and hang out with me here on the Southside Boys every week. First, let's welcome Justin coming here back here with Tino on the Southside Boys. Thanks, man, for coming back. And
Thanks for having me, Tino.
Let's welcome Deech. Let's get Deech in here. How you doing, Deech? Thanks for coming back, hanging out. How are you guys feeling? I was trying to take a deep breath there. So how are you guys feeling? I figure we can just not waste no time. We'll just get right into it. You know, there's an off day. There's nothing really going on. It's 420. Happy 420 out there to all the stoners out there.
It is.
Happy 420. But I figure we just get right into it. So we'll start off, I guess, with the opening, how I always do. How are you guys feeling How are you guys feeling about the past week? We had another 2-4 week again. As Deech were talking about last week. We were hoping for 4-2, but it just didn't seem to happen. So, Justin, since you weren't here last week, let's hear what you have to say. People really liked your video last week, man. I got a lot of people telling me they really enjoyed everything you had to say. So,
yeah, I tend to do all right when I'm just alone with my thoughts. But I mean, you really can't have too much good to say right now. I'd say if I had to pick out a good, it's Jake Berger, who the last time I was actually on 2 weeks ago when we were live, I said that we would be talking about his home runs the next time we got together, and that's now that I'm back, it is a topic, and
exactly
improved starting pitching, but pretty doom and gloom about the state of the union right now for sure.
Doomed. I just man. So, Deech, how are you feeling?
I mean, it's not good. Definitely, there's not a lot of positive to say. They are absolutely horrendous at home now. I really don't know how to. I mean, the run differential at home is just terrible. So I don't know what it is. I kind of point the finger at it has become a toxic environment at the ballpark. I mean, when something good happens, fans will get excited, but a majority of games have not. I mean, I'm 0-3 this season in attendance, so it gets pretty dark pretty quick with the fan base's attitudes once games start. So
Deech, I'm starting to think you're the problem. No. Maybe we'd be 2-1. Maybe we'd be 9-10 right now. What do you think, Justin? Is it Deech's fault?
I think, well, as much as I'd love to pile on Deech, I know he had a good record last year despite
we were just talking about that before we were recording. What did you say? You were 18-12?
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead, Justin.
No, I was going to say the reason that they don't win at home is because they don't fucking hit, pardon my French, they don't hit the ball out of the park. They don't use the park.
Swearing is fine, okay, on here. I do it enough with the wrestling. Hey,
they don't play to the ballpark. That's why they're not winning games at home.
Oh my god! And that's the thing. And it's just like last time we were talking on here, we were getting ready for the Orioles. Right? It was right. I can't even remember who the heck we faced. I'm so just frustrated with it. Yeah, it was the Orioles and the Phillies. Yeah, the Orioles and the Phillies. And the Orioles came in there, and I was watching that series. I wasn't expecting. I was expecting a lot. But after seeing them play, it's they have the type of they find ways to win. No matter what, they didn't give up. And Rutschman and Mullins just every single time they're up, they're okay. So since we started with Obi, and let's just start with that with the last 2 series. Obviously, the last time we were here, we were predicting, and me and Deech said 4-2, and it's the opposite. It's 2-4 again. They won the one game. They won the walk-off with Oscar Kolosk. And then they won the second game of the doubleheader with Lucas Giolito. And it's I don't know what it is, but it's even the walk-off, it was the walk-off games are obviously so much fun, but it's just why is it either I feel as a Sox fan, it's either we lose really bad we do a walk-off where the game's stressful as hell, or we have a game like Lucas Giolito where, he gives up nothing, and we still, and again, it's been, 4 games? They've got runs in 1 inning, and then they can't score. It's like they forget how to score runs, and it's like I feel like it's pitchers are adjusting to the Sox, and the Sox aren't adjusting to the pitchers. So,
well, go ahead, Deej.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Well, I was going to say in those 4 games in a row, scoring in 1 inning, and in 2 of those games they were first inning home runs. That's unacceptable.
Yeah. And the 1 game Sunday wasn't. Yeah, they got up 4-0. They got the 3-run home run, and then they got the Burger home run. And it's like I was feeling good. I was at my stepbrother's birthday party. I'm like, hell yeah! I'm like, I can enjoy this. And then it 4-1, 4-2. I'm just like, what? And it's like every time this team scores, they give up a run. It's like we got the 2-1 lead yesterday, and then the next half inning, it's a home run. It's 2-2. What the hell games? It's just like, I don't even know. So if you guys want to go and just talk about, if you want to go and just talk about how, like, with these 2, what did you see? Obviously, Giolito did good, so I will take that out of it. Giolito pitched like he was the best pitcher in MLB, but I mean, like, other than, like, I don't know. Deech, you let me know, because I'm just gonna keep rambling.
The games against the Orioles, the bullpen did not look good, although I will say against Philadelphia, or at least the last 2 games, they were pretty solid. So in regards to that, I definitely think if the bullpen can put it together, that is 1 step closer to what we were actually expecting from the season. I mean, I don't think any of us thought going into the season the bullpen is going to be absolutely horrendous. Like, you could have
as much money they've given them.
But, I mean, it was terrible. I mean, the last 2 games have been relatively impressive, but with all of the negative things taking place in the team's performance, I feel like everyone starts to microanalyze everything. And something that would be such a minor thing in a game if we were actually scoring runs and you felt confident in the bullpen now becomes big issues that everyone just seems to be blowing up about. So,
well, and it's gotten to the point where, like, we've talked about, like, before, and like we've talked about off the show and everything, it's like every time, like you said, as toxic as it's been at the stadium, it's like as soon as, like, you get a home run, Vaughn hits the home run, it's 2-1, everybody's excited. Within 20 minutes, it's 2-2 and 4-2 or whatever it was, and everybody's blowing stuff up. And it's like a roller coaster. It's like up and down, up and down. And, that was the thing. It's like the bullpen played shitty as hell versus the Orioles, and then they figured it out versus the Phillies, but the Sox couldn't score no runs. It's like, why the hell can't we just play a complete goddamn game where the pitching, the hitting, the bullpen, the defense, everything works, and we can just have a nice day? Like, when the hell was the last day we've actually had where, like, the Sox have just taken it away?
The first half of 2021.
Like, and it's just like, it's so, because it's just like, it's one of those things where it just like I feel like I watch the games, I get so, like, I get ready to watch them, but it just turns into, like, me just having this roller coaster of emotions because they don't know what the hell they're doing. So it's been, like, not a great week. And again, as we talked about last week, Phillies don't have Hoskins. Harper's still out. Josh Harrison, bro, I'm done. Taking off the hat for this one. Josh Harrison won them that game. Please explain to me how Josh Harrison learned how to play baseball. Are we cursed?
I don't think that we know how to make players good. There are teams that are really good at doing it, like the Dodgers, where, like, Trace Thompson and Jason Hayward go there and they're productive players to the surprise of everyone on both sides of town here. But we're kind of on, like, the opposite end of that train where, it's player development. It's everything. It's just maybe curse could be the easier way to describe it.
I just, when I looked at the stat line and realized here's the reason why we lost, I was just like, I can't. I'm like, I hate you. I'm like, if I have to see you do this again, I'm going to punch you, bro. He'd do it when we were down 7-0 and he got a double and thought he was the best in the world. Goddamn guy. Well, we're sitting at 7-12. We're what, 4th place, because the Tigers swept the Guardians in a doubleheader. That's the one thing I always say. You really never know. That's why I had a little hope for the Sox in that doubleheader after seeing what the Tigers did. But obviously, yeah.
Come the end of the season, we might end up being grateful that Detroit swept this series from Cleveland.
Very true. So we are 7-12. We are in fourth place.
2 out of 3. Boston took 2 out of 3 from Minnesota too.
Well, that's what I was just about to get to. As we were talking, I texted you. I was like, Minnesota lost today. They got their ass kicked. I was like, we gained a half a game. I called a W today. I don't know why. I always remember as a kid, I'm like, when the Sox were off and the team lost that was in front of us, never, because we're obviously never in front of them, I always called it a win. But at this point, it said that we're calling that wins. So the Sox are 7-12, fourth place. The run differential is -26. We talk about the run differential at home. The run differential just in general is like, I feel like they're just like, and the Tigers have a run differential at 36. So the fact that they are a game ahead of us and they have 10, they've scored 10, what would they be, right? 10 less runs, right? Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. But since the Twins did lose, we're 4 games out. Guardians. I caught myself. I don't like to yell
there, Tino.
I know. I still say it sometimes. Cleveland, 10-9. They got a -3. They're 1 out of first, and then the Tigers 7-10, and then the Royals. I don't know what they're doing, but who cares? It doesn't matter what the Royals' record is. They always find a way to play versus us. So
yeah,
thank God. And I saw somebody say it in the chat that when I was posting stuff, thank God we're in an awful division. Because if we were in any other division, I feel like we would be in last place in NL West, East, and we would be in second to last in the West. So
yeah, and even stacking it up, it's just the teams that they would have to. They're the only reason why we can still have this right now. And like seriously, talk about the Sox turning it around and getting their position to win the division is because of the division they are in. Because any of those other divisions, if they were chasing Atlanta, Tampa Bay, and New York, if they eventually were going to have to catch Houston once Houston turns it around, they're not as good as any of those teams. But you can convince yourself that they could get to Cleveland or Minnesota.
That's
such a low bar.
And my friend, because I was talking to my other friend about it, I've grown up with him and everything. He's like, well, we weren't like asked to be here. We were just put here. So I mean, you got to take it with what it is. So we've been talking a lot about, 2 and 4 and everything like that. But I figured let's take a moment and let's talk about Jake Burger, because Jake Burger, since last week, has been the one positive. He continues to hit home runs. He's continued to do the thing, do what he needs to do. Obviously, he's not playing great defense. He's cost us. He gave up 2 runs here. He got an error that gave up and that led to 2 runs, I should say. And obviously isn't the same defender that Moncada is. So, but with Burger hitting the ball, I feel like you can't, like I said it to somebody on Twitter, you can never have this man go to AAA ever again. Like, I just don't think the way he's hitting the ball, the way he, like there's got to be some way to put him on here. So, Justin, I want to start with you with Jake Burger. What do you do? Obviously, because Moncada is not back. It doesn't look like he's coming back tomorrow. I saw some that said he's not ready. His back still hurts. I want to rip my SouthSide jersey up to shreds because he pisses me off so much.
He's the only real Nike jersey I have.
Yeah, so Justin, your opinion for what do you think about, because you said it last time you were here, you called it. You got it, man. You're literally you said exactly what you said has happened. He's literally done. And I think he was the reason why we won the one game too.
Yeah.
So just in regular, what do you think? Do we keep Jake Burger? Obviously we do. But what do we do with Moncada?
I've been a big fan of Jake since we drafted him, and we saw this similar stretch last season. He won us, like there was like that week stretch where he won us every game we won in that week.
That's right. Every game, I remember that.
Showing up and hitting the ball out of the park. So I know the defense is bad, but for me right now is like if Moncada really, I mean, they said he's going to need a rehab stint and he's going to go to Charlotte. What can you do? Because, like who else is going to play? I mean, there are other options for third base, I guess, but you need that bat in the lineup right now. And that's everyone else's fault that you need to have that, take that liability on defense because Jake, and you need the bat in the lineup. And then, another thing for me, moving past this down the road, I'm sure Eloy will get out of the funk at some point. But what we heard this year, this offseason and whatever is, 26 best guys. And we're going to, it kind of seemed like we are going to try to prioritize winning over loyalty and over names and everything of that nature. So, if Eloy doesn't figure it out, and I know we're going to probably get to that later on, but Jake's got to be here to stay, as far as I'm concerned. And he's not even just doing this against left-handed pitching. When they brought him up, they're platooning him, they're pinch hitting him for sheets, or they're pinch hitting sheets for him, I should say, when when they brought in a righty reliever, and if it was a lefty starter, Berger needs to be in the lineup every day. Even yesterday, he had a couple balls he hit pretty hard when, he went hitless, but I don't know who else you have more confidence in at the plate right now, if you're a Sox fan and you're watching these games.
And the way he hits the ball, man, is like crazy. And Dietz, you've actually been you went obviously they didn't win, but you obviously saw his home runs. So I mean, what do you think? What do you feel about this third base? Is it a third base situation that we're in, or am I just making this up in my head?
While Moncada's out, yes, obviously but it's the same thing you could say with Gavin Sheets. If they're going to play Gavin Sheets in the outfield, they're going into it having the understanding that he is not the best defender in the outfield. So if something does happen, like when he fell, that's really not on him. All he's doing is going out there and trying his best. I mean, it's the same thing with Berger. Yes, we don't have a third baseman right now. I don't know that Rami's bat is worth having a little bit better defense at third.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
There's just no option right now. And even when Moncada does come back, if Eloy doesn't turn it around, Jake will see time at DH, and Eloy will sit, and they will work with him to try and figure it out. But it's one of those things where Jake Berger should really be as protected as any batter can be in this lineup right now. And to sit and keep putting Eloy in the middle of the lineup when the guy does not look like he can hit a baseball right now, or at least hit a baseball very hard. I mean, he few singles or whatever, but
oh my God,
if you're batting him third or fourth in the lineup, you need more than just I occasionally hit a single and then I'm taking really bad strikeouts with just not looking confident at all at the plate. That's all it comes down to, really.
Well, exactly. And that's the biggest thing. Sorry, I didn't realize I had my volume on my phone. I actually clicked on the link. It popped up and it was echoing for a minute. And that's the thing exactly, where it's Eloy is not doing what we need him to do, and we've seen how important his bat is. And I was thinking about it. He played right field a few days ago. He got no plays. I was perfect. Nobody hit the ball to right field when he's out there. I was I forgot. I think Benetti said that, or Stoney said it, or somebody. I was just that's great. It's that's perfect. You stand out there and play with your thumbs. You go put your helmet on too if you need to. It's at this point, do we need him just to lean into it? But then he's going to be out for 8 weeks. So it's just and that's the thing where it's Berger has been the most consistent guy with Anderson out, Moncada out, everybody out. It's he's been the only guy when we get up there. And you know how much the Sox love to not hit with scoring in position, or guys in scoring position, or bases loaded, nobody out. I feel confident in Jake Berger. So like Deet said, when Moncada comes back, if Eloy has to sit, I think that's the best case scenario. And Eloy might not like it, but if he's not doing it, he's not hitting the ball out of the ballpark, because the way the Sox and the way we see other teams hit home runs is the Sox should be doing that times 2. It's their home ballpark, and the fact that they get out homered by all these other teams is crazy. And
I have a working theory, and I'm not going to go too much into it, but I've mentioned to people in my circle that I am convinced that part of this issue is because some of these guys, Robert and Jimenez specifically, Moncada to a degree as well, in the early years of their career when they came up, they were hitting super juiced baseballs. And these past couple of years, they're no longer hitting those same baseballs. They're hitting the dead baseballs. And they just, I don't know if it's just when they came up and what it is. I'm sure there's a million things that factor into it, but
yeah, that's a good point.
Something changed significantly with this team's style once they changed the baseballs. And that's not excusing any of it, because it's not stopping other teams like you mentioned, but it certainly seems to be stopping us.
It just, I didn't even think about that. Go ahead, Deech.
I said warning track, flyout city. That's literally you just sit there and I don't even get when they hit the ball. unless they sit and murder the baseball while I'm sitting at the game, like a Jake Berger type home run or Sheets, because like Sheets never really just hits like, oh, I just cleared the wall. Sheets will hit it out there when he does.
He's got a beautiful swing.
Oh my!
Yeah.
The one he hit on Sunday, I was just, you knew it, like when you know it's gone, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But so many fans get excited when they make hard contact, and if I see that the ball, its trajectory is going upward, it's like, okay, I'm not even gonna. I'm not getting I'm not getting worked up to sit here and have it be like a fly out to the warning track. It just happens too often.
Are you talking? That happened at the end of the game. I remember because he was the last out yesterday. He hit the ball, and I remember seeing everybody go woo, and it was a fly ball to center. I was just like, what are we doing? That's so funny that you say that.
But to the point, with the whole Jake Berger situation, Oscar Colas isn't sitting there and like wooing me with his performance. I mean, he had good moments and stuff like that. So even it may not necessarily be Eloy getting benched. They may throw him out there in the outfield. I just don't. They're not going to only be playing Colas out there if he continues to struggle. I mean, to the point where he could get sent down to AAA if he really starts to like dig himself into this kind of inconsistency. They're not going to sit there and just keep throwing him out there.
No, I completely agree with you on that because you just can't let these guys go up there and swing at these pitches. And it's like the fact that they go up there and swing at 3 pitches. Okay, time to go back. And it's just like, and Scotty Pod said it because Chuck asked it. And they said, a lot of the thing last year was that they just didn't look like they were ready to go out there and fight, and their approach wasn't everything like that. And I feel like that has definitely changed. I feel like there has been like, like as you talk about like Oscar, there's been the good moments and stuff like that. But again, with Oscar, I think it's just going to be this up and down roller coaster. But if he does continue to struggle where he's not getting hits, I think you have to send him down, let him get some at bats, bring somebody up that could possibly help in some sort of way. If it's Billy, if it's Marisnik, if it's whoever the hell you want to bring up. I mean, that's a very good, because you just have to. And that's the thing where it's just like, I don't know where that is, So, I mean.
Can I be ignorant for a minute? Is Adam Hazley with the team right now?
Yes, he is. I think he's in AAA.
Okay. I thought so.
Yeah, no, he is in AAA because that was somebody, too, they were talking about before the season.
No, is he? What was a couple days ago? They're like, he's in the clubhouse, and then they put someone on the IL.
Put him up, I thought, when Alberto went on the IL.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Since we were, I think Alberto wasn't on the IL. I think he went on Friday last week.
Because Hazley got subbed in. I don't know if it was to pinch run or to play the outfield or something. I believe
that's right. He did.
They did throw him in there.
Okay.
That's right. He did. You're right.
But out of all of the options is the one you'd probably want up right now. I mean, everyone can sit and complain about the Danny Mendick thing. It was a freak accident. It sucked.
Oh, God, I'm never going to hold that against him. The shit that I've seen these guys do, I'm not going to hold that against Hazley.
Certain people, you'd act like he sat and like punched him in the face or something, where it's like, okay, it's not like he like intentionally was like, I'm going to tear his ACL. So like, out of all the options that you have in the minors, that's the guy who's A, been playing the best in AAA, and B, he just has the most tools that you could use as with a guy off the bench. I mean, Hamilton is very limited if he sit there and take it at bat.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. I mean, I agree completely.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, and it's like that's where it goes down to the depth with this team. It's like I feel like they don't have like as much depth as others, but for some reason these teams find these guys out of nowhere. They pull like the Cardinals pull Nick Atlas out their ass, and he's hitting home runs. Or remember David Freeze's ass? He came out of nowhere, and he was like, "It's freezing. It's October." He's hitting home runs for the Cardinals all October, whatever the hell it was.
His jersey's in my closet.
Huh?
I said his jersey's in my closet.
Is it really?
Solely because of that postseason, yeah.
And that's one of those things. It's just like, and it's just like. You see that, and we were talking about like the curse guys earlier, and like Danny Mendick, and I kind of forgot about James McCann. I didn't even know where the hell he went until he came to at bat versus us last weekend. I was like, there's McCann. I was like, what's up? I didn't even know where the hell he went. And that's what where's Mendick at now?
In
New York, the Mets.
Is he on the Mets now? Okay.
I love how dearly we hold on to like our handful of success stories. We're like James McCann, that's our guy.
Oh my God.
He had a couple of good years here.
There was the rumor in the offseason that the Sox may try and trade for him, and you're sitting there and you're kind of like, I don't really know how. He's not done well since he left the Sox.
No, he had one good year for the Mets, and I think that was it because they gave him all that money. Or what?
Yeah, he got like $4 and $40 from them, which was, I mean, good for him. I mean, the Sox were never going to do that for a backup catcher.
Before I forget, did you guys see that thing that somebody put out there that Madison Bumgarner got released and then the Sox signed him for 4 years, $93 million or some shit?
My God!
I was like, that would be such a Jerry thing to do.
As soon as I saw that tweet, I quoted it that he was DFA'd. I quoted it and was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Sox have found their left-handed starter."
You know it. You know he's gonna be on. He's gonna be the next Johnny Cueto.
The idea has been tossed around, no doubt in my mind.
Oh my God, I cry. I think if it does happen, we're just gonna sit here for a whole thing. But we've been talking about a lot of everything that's been going on, and now, as much as I don't want to do it, but we're almost there. Let's talk about what's coming ahead, because the Sox now get to go as they're 7-12. They're gonna go and face Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay. They go face Toronto, and then they get to come back home and face the Rays again. This is a very big 9-game stretch, because I think we play 4 versus them here. So not exactly the record I wanted at this time, because, I was hoping to be a little better because these teams. But if I remember correctly, I don't know why, and maybe it's just a White Sox thing, I feel like they played good in Tampa Bay and Toronto. From what I remember in the recent history, I don't know if that's just me. Maybe I'm losing it. But the last few years, I remember them playing good. So,
maybe the last few years, I have very negative connotations with both those buildings. Same with like the Metrodome. I think it's like anywhere the Sox go that's inside in any capacity. It's just when you. I said this, Deech, you saw this on my Snap story yesterday. With the problem with playing on the turf and going there and dealing with all that, I was like, these guys don't feel the balls that bounce and are hit normally, and then you go and ask them to play them off. You got the catwalk in Tampa for the balls hitting the air; they're bouncing weird on the turf. But I do remember them taking a series in Toronto, if not last year, the year before.
I obviously, because I remember there's a lot of years. I remember watching a lot of years. Like, we used to have parties at my house, and I remember having a lot of years sitting outside of my backyard just watching them get their ass kicked by the Rays and the Blue Jays. But maybe it was like around like the 2016 season, because everybody remembers that was the greatest 31 games of our lives with them starting 21-10. But I remember they took like 3 out of 4 versus Toronto. They think they won 2 out of 3 versus the Rays, and they have played them a little better, and they, this and that. But the way this team is playing right now, and I try to be as confident and as positive possible because I just have so much anxiety over this team. But I'll tell you what, I have no expectations for anything this week. I'm just going to sit here and watch it and pray for the best, and whatever happens, happens, because we can't change it. And I really don't want to build myself up in hoping they're going to win a series, because it is now April 20th and they still have yet to win a series. We've had 2 chances to win a series and can't do it. So I don't know if they're going to do it versus the Rays and Blue Jays. So we go and we'll start with the Rays. How are you guys feeling? And Deech, I'll start with you. How do you feel going into Tampa Bay? Have this off day today. I don't know how much it's going to help. Definitely helps me. At least I know I'll be able to sleep tonight and not losing. So that's good. But so how do you feel, Deej, about it? What do you think? And what do you think is going to be the outcome of this?
I mean, I don't think we're going to go in there and sweep, obviously. I mean, I try and be positive.
But yeah, that's like
there's limits.
Yeah, there's limits to that. Like, how if it's the Royals?
So, I mean,
maybe.
I'm honestly going to say I think they take 2 out of 3, only because A, it would be such a White Sox thing to do, and B, for some reason, it seems like teams you expect them to beat, and this is more of a recent trend, they do not beat, and just like look like absolute, like just like completely lost out there, and then they'll go play a really good team and get your hopes up, and they'll take 2 out of 3 or something in a series.
Hey, Deech, what other Chicago team did you just describe when you said that? I'll give you a hint. The same guy owns both teams.
I know.
Tino's got it.
I know.
Tino, what is it?
The Bulls.
It's the Bulls.
It's so bad. Why?
It's the same story.
Bad. It's just like, and that's literally, as soon as you were saying, I was like, yup, exactly. They play up to their competition. I don't know what it is. But these guys, it's like they get the feeling of the playoffs or something, or like that atmosphere. And because we don't have it at Guaranteed Rate Field all the time, or the Cell, or whatever you want to call, I call it Comiskey, but we don't have that type of atmosphere. And I've noticed, like ESPN opening day, you said it in the chat. You said at least we'll always have opening night versus Houston, and opening night ESPN. Nobody expected us to win, and we won opening night, but we obviously saw it happen after that. But I don't know, man. And I'm going to try to be positive as much as I can. But honestly, that would be such a White Sox thing to do, is take 2 out of 3. Because we have.
I think they win the game where it's Cease versus McClanahan. For some reason, the Sox players always it's like we're going to tee off on one pitcher in a series, and it'll be like the ace of the other team. And then they'll have like a random guy throw one of the games, and they'll just completely just no power, no sense of urgency. It just is like
the Orioles guy. The Orioles guy on Sunday is a perfect example. They got 4 runs. He figured it out in the second inning. He didn't give up shit. We should have had 8 runs off of that guy.
Yeah, and so Deech, you kind of took what I was going to say, in that it would be the most White Sox thing to go and actually, this is the first series they win. They go into Tampa and take it from the best team in baseball. My worry is that, Tino, I think you said this earlier in the call, like the pitchers adjusting to the White Sox with that lab that they have down there in Tampa and that bullpen. I just think these guys are just going to come in and carve up this lineup all weekend. To be completely honest with you, I can see a detail on the McClanahan thing, definitely, but the way that they operate that bullpen and the way that they just do what they do so well, I think is such a poor matchup for the Sox. So they're just going to bring in these guys and they're just going to bully this lineup.
Because we have Cisco in one game, we got Kopech, and then we got who else?
Lynn, I believe.
Okay. And Lynn pitched very good, or not very good, but he pitched better, I guess. Because he pitched for game 1, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't. He wasn't stellar.
No, he wasn't. Okay, no, that was the start before that.
Held the lead and ate up the innings.
That was like the best thing he got. He did end up, because it was 3-0, and then we got, because that was we scored 5 we scored 1 run. We scored those 4 runs, 6 hits, and then that was it. Can't get that 5th run at third base though with 1 out, God forbid. So you guys see all my anger that I have. I just hold it all in, but I mean, and that's the thing. So honestly, I mean, that's the one game I'm most worried about is Lynn. I think I've just lost all confidence in Lynn at this point, just because every time I feel like I have confidence in him, it's like he just doesn't go out there, and it's like they just sometimes looks like he's throwing it right down the middle, or he's throwing these meatballs for these guys to hit, and it's like, what are we doing? So Justin, you said what do you think they're gonna do? What you saying 1 out of 3?
Well, part of me is and I think I made the same prediction for last time where I kind of used it on feel, and I said that Vince Velasquez will beat Clevenger, which ended up being inaccurate. The part of me that's they're the White Sox tells me, oh, this is where they go win 2 out of 3 in Tampa. But I'll stick to I'll say that they'll get 1 out of the 3 and continue their trend of not getting swept. Just because I really think the Rays bullpen is going to have their way with these guys, and they'll go to the bullpen as early as they need to, and they're seeing different guys every inning. You're not seeing the same guy twice. These guys know exactly what they need to do to get our guys out, and that's why they're as good as they are. So,
well, and that's the thing too, where it's and that's the biggest thing, where it's just they're gonna go in there and they could have a bullpen day and they figure it out, and these guys can't figure out the pitchers in 2 innings, and then they bring somebody else out. And again, with the swings and misses are just ridiculous. If I have to see these guys swing at balls way outside, it's just take a pitch every once in a while. It's take a walk, and it's just so oh my God, I just don't know. And that's the thing too. I want to be positive. I really do. But as I said, I'm just going to sit here and watch it this weekend. I have most confidence in Dylan Cease. So at worst, I'm going to hope that they at least keep their trend of not getting swept. But worst or best case scenario, they take 2 out of 3. They win their first series, and they do what the White Sox usually do. So hopefully after this weekend, we're at 9-13, right? Yeah, 9 and 13. Even though it's not a great record, 10-12 would be better. Shit. I was like, let's just sweep. Let's just get all the way back to 500. But that's the White Sox. They always do that. They always do. They get a little behind. They go up, they get to 500, and then they fall right back down. Can't we just go up for a little bit? Like, can't we have like 8 good days where we win? I want to have a show where we're talking about being 7-0. Let's make that a goal. 7-0 week. 1 week. I don't know if it will be this week though. But yeah, I'm going to say worst case, I'm going to say 1 out of 3, and best case 2 out of 3. So hopefully that is what goes down with this. But I've gotten to the point where what I was thinking about it, I've gotten to the point where they need to prove it to me. They have none of my trust. I have trust issues with this team is what it is. Every time they give me a little hope, they always let me down. It's like, and as we talked about, I remember talking to everybody in the first, like the after opening day and everything. I was like, guys, like I get this different feeling when the Sox win. And it's like when the Sox win and everything, it's like I still get that feeling. But then it's like when they lose, it's just like, oh my God. I feel like I'm in like hell when they lose, because then you just got to go listen to it all. I think that's the biggest thing sometimes. So
I think even the wins lately haven't been that enjoyable. Well, you got the most recent win against Philly that was like, okay, we split the doubleheader, and then the win after the win prior to that Saturday against Baltimore, you were just sitting there thinking, shit, if they hadn't have blown it last night, they would have just won this series.
And that's where it's so frustrating, because it's like we won the walk-off. It's exciting, yeah, but then we lost Sunday. We won the doubleheader, or the second game of the doubleheader, but then we come out at 1 o'clock. I was sitting there, I was like, what the fuck? I was getting ready for my Dynamite show by like 1:30. I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm like, and it just like, I try to sit here and be positive, and I'm like, oh my God, I love it. Like, let's go. But at just some point, I'm just like, this is just like, it just ruins my whole day. And thank goodness the games are a little shorter, because at least we don't have that much time, But I don't know.
Well,
so, go ahead.
Not when you went last Sunday. My brother and I went into the game at I think it was like 1:30, and I knew there would be a delay.
That's right. That's right. Sunday was the delay game. That's right.
Yeah, when it doesn't start till 3:30, and it's just been like misting, you're kind of like, well, where's the storm that we had to sit here and wait for?
That's right. I forgot about the 2-hour rain delay Sunday. That's right.
I don't know what took place. The pitch com thing obviously was messing up Cease, because it fell off like numerous times throughout his outing, and you could just tell like his mind wasn't focused on solely pitching. He was like concerned about the pitch com thing falling off of his glove or wherever he had it. But that too, it's like you kind of messed your pitcher up if he's ready to go, and then you're sitting here like for 2 hours being like, well, there may be weather in the area, so we're just going to sit here and keep delaying it. Yeah, that was brutal.
Well, and that's the other thing. As you mentioned that, why don't we mention them before we talk about the Toronto series? Let's talk about all the other things going on in the baseball world, because we got Scherzer getting caught with the sticky stuff.
He just got handed 10 games while we've been on this.
He did. Oh, he did. Oh, okay. Well, we got some breaking news. Justin, go ahead and what was it? I'm sorry.
Let me read it exactly. Max Scherzer suspended 10 games and fined for violating prohibitions on foreign substances yesterday. That's from Jeff Passan.
Okay. Well, that's okay. See, I didn't know that. So, well, that's that. Man, his explosion was very entertaining. I was like, damn. I was like, this is like, but at least they're taking it serious. I mean, at least, but again, like we've seen it happen, like you mentioned with the sticky stuff, maybe it does help the pitchers and everything. I don't know. I feel like they just need to find something that is legal for them to use that would maybe help. I don't know.
Rosin, well, Tino, did you see that there's only been 3 guys ejected for sticky substances, and Phil Cucuzzo has been the umpire for all of it. There's been 3 ejections for this, and one guy's thrown all of them out.
I did not see that. I did not. Interesting. Maybe he's the problem.
Exactly.
So, Deech, what'd you say?
I said I believe a lot of 2 of the games were against the Sox.
The one definitely was that Mariners guy.
Yeah, that's right.
There was a Cardinals guy who got thrown out for that.
Oh, it was a Cardinals guy. No, you're right. I misremembered.
And there was a Mariners guy.
There was also a Mariners guy. Okay.
They're just all out here. So, well, breaking news: Max Scherzer is suspended and got fined and all that. So, Max, hopefully he figures it out. I don't know, man. The Mets are just like, I don't know. The Mets are the Mets. New York is New York. Stanton went on the IL too. That man can't stay healthy if his life depended on it.
No,
we also, before I also do, we got this news too earlier. I think it was like an hour ago too. Our closer, Liam Hendricks, is cancer free. So congratulations to Liam Hendricks. I wanted to mention that too. Cancer free. Hopefully we get him back sooner rather than later. I don't know if he will, when he will, but he seems like he's the type of guy that wants to come back by like June. So what is your guys' like if he really is like okay and everything, what is your guys' estimate think that he'd be back if he does come back this year?
I think he'd take the ball tomorrow. I know he will. It's
He
just going
said
to depend on
tomorrow.
their evaluation.
He said, "I'll fly out to Tampa.
Yeah,
Let's
I'll
go
to Tampa and I'll close it out tomorrow." I mean, no, I love Liam Hendricks. He's probably one of my favorite guys on the team. One of those guys. It's like even when it's kind of like you were talking about Lynn. Like even if Liam goes out there and like gives up a homer and blows a save, like at least he's out there competing every day and he cares and he's passionate.
Yeah.
And so I was really it's just been awesome to see him take down cancer. And my estimation, I have no medical background whatsoever. I would hope, by like mid-June, maybe. I don't know though, because I know that he was at camp, but I don't know like where he's at. I don't know how much strength he has.
Yeah. And and the stuff I heard Chuck say about him that he was throwing and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, he could be back. Like you said, I mean, he'd probably be ready to come back tomorrow if he could.
Well, and there's a reason they never put him on the 60-day IL.
Yeah. That was the biggest news, I think, when we kind of like.
So him clearing the whole "you've officially beat it," to me, would kind of foreshadow it's coming. He's going to be coming back sooner than later. So this question: who comes off the IL first, Moncada or Liam?
Am I evil if I say Liam? I feel like we're
evil?
A lot more in tune with Liam's situation than we are Moncada's.
Oh my God!
I guess I'll go ahead and bet on the guy who is publicly giving updates versus the guy who we haven't heard anything about.
Man, Deech, what do you think? You think he comes back for like mid-June and stuff?
Liam?
Yeah, if he does, like June, July.
No, because if that's the case, I mean, they probably would have
60-dayed him, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, they must think he's coming pretty soon.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I would estimate sometime in May. I don't think it'll be the beginning of May, but Joe Kelly was referencing Liam's been throwing every day, which is insane for someone who's going through like.
Man, I don't know how he's doing that. I have no idea. So hopefully Liam is okay, or he's obviously okay. Thank God he's okay, I should say. And hopefully he comes back as soon as possible. Oakland sold. Oakland's moving to Vegas, apparently. You guys see that?
Yeah. That sucks.
He said it sucks. Why do you say that? Because Oakland's losing.
And yeah.
Because Oakland's going to lose their third pro team that they all three pro teams. And I've always liked the A's. Have always been my second favorite American League team. I mean, I think it's sick that it's Vegas and that Vegas is becoming like a sports town. But, I mean, you just have to feel for those fans. I mean, that almost happened to the Sox, and not 30 years ago now, but like it's a scary thought, and that's always been something that's sat in the back of my mind is if the team does ever get sold, is that person going to have any investment in keeping them in the area? So I guess it's more scary for me than anything.
Well, yeah. And that's the thing. I just wanted to mention it because for a long time there they were, and they're obviously not a good baseball team. They have 3 wins. Not many fans go. And obviously people go to a baseball game in Vegas, a football game in Vegas, obviously I'm sure the stadium's going to be ridiculous. We see the Raiders stadium. It's like insane. So I'm sure it's going to be, it is, but I wanted to mention it just because it obviously did happen. Just try to get everything in, just make sure. But with, is there anything else like big that really like happened? I don't know if there was anything like really major. I mean, Jason Hayward made a really bad play. Nick Madrigal can't run the bases. So,
Breaking news.
Huh?
Breaking news. Nick Madrigal can't run the
breaking
bases.
news. So, I mean, there's a lot of but I mean, I think that's pretty much all the big things about it. So after we go and face Tampa Bay, we go to Toronto. And what's the Toronto stadium? I always forget what it's called.
Tropicana Field, if it's what it still is, yeah.
No, wait, isn't that the Rays?
Oh no, Toronto. It's Skydome. It's Rogers Center.
Rogers Center. There we go.
It'll always be
Center.
Skydome to me.
Skydome. There we go. Okay, so we go and face Toronto, and that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we have Thursday, Friday. Good. Yeah. So we're running out Lucas, we're running out Mr. Clevinger, and we're running out. Who else will we run out? Oh my God, who pitched yesterday? Oh my
Clevinger
God.
pitched yesterday. It would be.
Oh, so it'd be Lucas, Clevinger, and
then whoever pitches tomorrow. So Cease
or Kopech and Cease. Yeah.
Okay. So is Cease pitching twice?
So Cease should pitch both these series, right?
Okay.
No, shit, because it's Kopech tomorrow. Kopech will pitch both the series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cease will be the first game against Toronto.
Okay.
Or I mean, Tampa Bay at home. So
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that works. Okay. Yeah, I try to keep with the rotation, and then all of a sudden after like an off day, I get all types of mixed up. Okay.
Yeah, doubleheader too. Yeah.
Gotta love it, man. I was hoping we got through. We were almost getting through April without rain delays and stuff, and then they had the one. So we got a 3-game series with them. After they are 11-8 right now, they're running out our good old buddy Chris Bassett. Who could forget about Chris Bassett? He was in the Jeff Samardzija deal, if anybody remembers.
Yep.
We're going up against our old buddy Jose Berrios that has a 6.23 ERA. Wasn't he the ace on the Twins? And then the third game, don't know how to say this guy's name. It is UCL Kikuchi.
Oh, Kikuchi. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, Kikuchi.
I think.
And as you guys, so that's who we're going up against with the Blue Jays in that 3-game series. And obviously, we don't know what the standings will be. We got to find out what happens this weekend. Let's just pray the Yankees beat the shit out of the bullpen. Yankees learn how, hopefully the Yankees are mad and Yankees just take it out on Blue Jays. So that would be nice. But Blue Jays, they got George Springer. They got is it Bo Bichette? Right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. They got Bo Bichette. Bro, some of these guys, like there's just some of these guys I forget like who's on their teams and stuff. Vlad Guerrero, obviously Vlad. Man, I would love to have Vlad on our team. Like I just think about it, like when we face him, I'm just like, damn, this guy is like really good. And then I'm like watching his dad too, because we're all old enough now to say that we've watched his dad. Like it's
right.
got so going into this Blue Jays series, Deech, I'll start with you. What do you think and how do you feel coming and going into the series as of now? Because we obviously don't know what's going to happen this weekend. Monday, we could be winning 2 out of 3 or shit. We could sweep. We could be getting swept. We don't know. So as of now, what do you think will be going down in this series? And by the time we talk next week, what do you think?
I'm again going to go. They're going to win 2 out of 3. I honestly think this road trip is going to be where they come together. I mean, the bullpen we did see the last 2 games is I looked back at
Jimmy Lambert is a GOAT. Give that man. I want to give the fact that guy can just go up there and pump out strikes is fantastic.
But looking at that, I looked back at the losses. There were 5 games already blown by the bullpen that were like solely on the bullpen.
You said that it was 5 out of 11 losses that we had that was blamed on the bullpen.
So bullpen is legitimately starting to turn it around, which I do like. I mean, Keenan Middleton, dude has just gone in and thrown strikes. He is
another one.
Leading by example right there. That's all we're asking you to do. Yes, someone may make contact with it, but your fielders should have your back.
Exactly. And that's exactly, you go out there and get outs, throw strikes and get outs. That's just,
I mean, I'm saying on that road trip, they will go they'll be 4-2, win 4 out of 6 games.
I hope so, man. And it's funny you say that because for some reason this team plays better on the road. What is it? They just don't like sleeping at home. Does Tim get beat by his wife? What happens? These guys go on the road and they love to play baseball. It's like you're absolutely right. I think didn't last year they had a better road record than they had home record. I think the home Deech, you might have been there for half of the wins at home last year.
Yeah, I mean they won 500 and they were definitely under 500 at home. So yes, that would add up.
But I mean, you're absolutely right, and that's the thing where it just like if they can figure this out, and I'm praying this off day because I was hoping Monday would help because it got rained out. Monday was the one that got rained out, or right? Yeah, Monday, and
Yep.
then and that was, I was kind of hoping Monday maybe they'll relax. I saw Clevinger and Dylan at lunch having a good time. I was like, okay, maybe, but hopefully a full off day, maybe a little like relaxation or something. I don't know. I don't know how much relaxation these guys need after having a nice off season or whatever, but I'm praying, man, that they pull this out. So, Justin, how are you feeling about this? Are you feeling as good as Deech 2 out of 3 or no?
No.
said
Different
no.
worry in
He said
Toronto
no.
is that I just feel like they're going to score too many runs for us for our boys to keep up with.
They do have Whit Merrifield. I forgot about Whit Merrifield. He kind of fell off. He hasn't been as good as he was on the Royals, but Alexander Kirk too is another one.
Yeah, they have a very good lineup, and the Sox could still 2 out of 3. Those pitching matchups didn't sound too unfavorable, but just feels like Toronto's got more of the guys that can go get the big hit if they're playing a close game, and the Sox are going to leave guys on base.
Oh, and I feel, oh shit, we got thunder here, thunder and lightning. It's got. I was getting all types of like different things on my phone, but I mean that's the thing where, damn, I lost my train of thought. But I mean, you're absolutely right. That's the thing where it's like they have so much potency in this lineup that it's like, can the Sox score these many runs? And that's my biggest worry is it's like the way we've seen them go up and not be able to score runs or score in one inning. It's like you're going to have to score a few more runs against these teams, and you got to score in more than one run to win games. Like unless you're scoring 9 runs in an inning, the team's still going to find a way. And even 9 runs in an inning, you can find a way to come back. We've seen it happen before. I don't want to remember, but I mean, and that as I look at this lineup, I just continue to see names. Matt Chapman, I see Kevin Biggio, I forgot Brandon Belt's on the team. I didn't even realize Brandon Belt went there. It's like it kind of is the thing with, the pitching matchup is the one thing that saves me though. As you said, I feel like the pitching matchup is going to be the thing that kind of, just depending on how these guys pitch. So what are you going to say? What are you going to say, we get swept or we take one at least?
No reason to believe that they won't continue to just lose 2 out of 3 until I see otherwise. I know we'll get to I know we always end with like bold predictions and guarantees. I was just going to get my guarantee out of the way and say that we're having the same conversation next week.
2-4 next week when we come back here?
Yep. We'll go ahead and lock that in.
Okay, we'll lock it in, Justin. Hopefully you're wrong though, man. Hopefully.
I'm rooting against me. I don't root to be right. I don't root for my narratives. I just call it based on what I see,
Yeah.
So tweeted that on the White Sox website, Tim Anderson is no longer listed as like an injured player.
What does that mean? So what does that mean? I saw that earlier. So does that mean he's like not injured, or does that mean
he went on the 10-day IL? So I was trying to figure out. I can't remember which game against the Twins he actually got hurt in, but I don't know if he'll be back for Tampa. But I feel like Toronto has to be enough time where he will be playing in the Toronto series. If it was leaning towards the 2 weeks that we were talking about.
The fact that it's already been 2 weeks is kind of sick. Like I was thinking about, I'm like, damn, it's already been like 2 to 3 weeks almost.
I think we're on the edge of that like 10-day, 2-week period where, I mean, if he comes back and he just gets on base, that's, I mean, you move Benintendi down in the lineup and then you kind of just decide, am I going to sit here and is London Sosa the next second baseman? I mean, I'm asking both of you here. Who gets second base when Tim returns?
I mean, I think Lennon's done it. Like, I mean, he's made a few good defensive plays. The one thing that worries me is that I just feel like he doesn't remind me of Garcia, but he just I don't know, man. Maybe it's just like the like second baseman and like the utility player. I don't know. Maybe I have PTSD. But that's the only thing that worries me. But like the defense I saw, the 1 home run he hit was good. It just, I think if he gets a lot of consistency, I think he'll eventually figure it out. But that's the thing. It's like letting these guys figure it out when we're in a window that we're trying to win championships is what, But I think he could be good. What do you think, Justin?
I mean, they're all No one. It doesn't excite me to talk about any of them. Like, yeah, he's all right. Like, yeah, Elvis is a veteran player. Like, one of them will be the second baseman. Second baseman is probably like the least relied on offensive output position. It's these other guys who have to get going before we can even like dive into that, in my opinion. But I mean, I wouldn't mind to see Sosa keep getting cracks. He's been playing well in the field. That's at least refreshing.
What Chuck said it too, because I listen to Chuck and Ozzy and I listen to all the podcasts as much as I can and everything.
Love Chuck.
And he said it. He said when Benintendi, oh my God, it felt good to have a left fielder that can make a play and get right back up. He made that play. Sosa made that other play. I was feeling good. I'm like, defensive plays, let's turn this around. And then it all went downhill.
Yep.
Well, not my hat went downhill too. But I mean, that's the thing. Like the few defensive things he's done, but they're just like, they're not like, like somebody that's like named. And it's like, I don't know. I think at this point, we just have to realize the Sox aren't going to do that. They're not going to go out there and get a Bryce Harper. They're not going to go out there and get an Aaron Judge type of a name. They're always going to try to do this 7-year, $1 million or 1 year, $7 million deals with Andrews and stuff like that. And it's like, they mentioned it and they said that they needed to find somebody that has like that type of energy. And even I was talking to one of my friends earlier, it's like they really don't seem to have like that like leader. Like in like a way, like they really don't have that guy. And I was looking at Abreu's numbers. I don't think he still hasn't hit a home run. He's hitting singles left and right. And I saw an Astros fan having a mental breakdown on his own podcast about how this is the worst signing in history and how they need to get rid of him and trade his ass and he's useless. Send him back to the White Sox. And it's like, okay, well, and it just like, I don't know. So it should be very interesting. But I do think that Sosa most likely will be sent down when Anderson gets back. I feel like that's what's probably going to happen. Even though he shouldn't, maybe. I mean, I feel like Romy should before anybody. Send Romy back to wherever the hell.
Romy can play the outfield, though. That's the
and that's the thing is why he's going to stay. And so, I mean, I don't know, man. But so since you already leaned into it and everything, I guess now that we did give, because I guess I didn't give my predictions about what I think. I'm going to say again, I really pray that we are 4-2 next week here, but I was feeling confident last week. I was feeling 4-2. I was like, let's go. Me and Deech were going to be sitting here chilling, having a good time, 420, smoke it up, everything like that, but didn't happen. So I'm at the point where they just need to prove it to me. They come in here this weekend and next week and they do what they need to do. We come back here 4-2, 3. Even if we're 3-3, like, can we just stop winning 2 games? Like, I feel like every time I write down the topics, I should just keep 2-4, 2-4. It's just like, oh my God. So now that we have talked about all of that, and now that we've looked forward to like next week and everything, let's do our bold predictions and our guarantees for the next week. So, Justin, let's start with you. You said your one guarantee is that we will go 2-4. So what's your bold prediction?
My bold prediction is that Oscar Colas is gonna have himself a nice week, all things considered. I think he'll like playing indoors. I mean, it's hard to say if the roof will be open in Tampa or in Toronto or not. My guess would be that it'll be closed. If they're night games, it's probably still kind of cold up there. So I think he'll like the more controlled climate, and we'll be having some nice things to say about him on this show next week.
Well, that works. Deech, what you got? Bold and guaranteed. And last week you said Lucas would turn it around, so you got that right. And I forgot what your
Deech.
He said, see ya.
He said, here's my bold prediction.
He said, I'm leaving. He said, I'm out of here. Well, we'll get Deech back in here, guys. And while Deech is there we go. Probably stupid phone. What's up, Deech?
What's up? I did not hear any of that. I'm going to be completely honest. So, I mean, we don't need to do a recap because obviously you just said it to everyone. But are we on me now?
Yeah. So I was just asking you. I was gonna go, but when you were whatever. But yeah, if you want to go, just guarantees and bold predictions. I said you got Lucas right last week. You said Lucas would have a good start. He did. He did what he had to do. We got the win, thank goodness. And then I forgot what your bold prediction was.
My bold prediction was we would see the first back-to-back home runs, which I
thought
was going to happen. It was
so close.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, shit! They weren't back to back.
No, they weren't. Man, they were close though. Man,
Damn near.
It was
Close
so
enough,
close.
Teach. For a bold prediction, we can give you that. You'll get partial credit.
He'll get 1 point. He'll get 0.5.
So for my guarantee, it is that Cease will outduel McClanahan and they will win that game.
And that is Saturday, right? That's Saturday's
Yeah.
game? Okay.
Definitely, if you're not a huge like Sox fan or anything, that would be the game to watch. So
I wonder how many people do that. Like I always think about that because like I'm one of those like I'm watching like just top of my head off of like back in remember like when Corey Kluber was good and stuff like that. It was like Kluber versus like the top pitching matches. I always wonder like what people think because we're obviously Sox fans, so we think about it. But I wonder what other people do like when they get like do they actually sit down and watch like a Dylan Cease game and like see because like I would if I wasn't a fan. But so then what was your so then you said so that's your
that was my guarantee. So for
okay.
my prediction, I'll say they win 5 out of 6 on this road trip. I know previously I said win.
Yeah.
But
Someone got celebrating a little too early.
Get real bold with it.
He is buzzed. Don't you see his little thing? He says he's buzzed. I mean, hey, what you drinking and smoking over there, bro? I need some of that. Need some of that positivity in my life.
Yeah, today was a whiskey day. We had to go a little bit stronger than beer. I mean, for the episode. So.
I mean, as White Sox fans, I think that's what we do. We just suffocate our pain and our misery. Just smoke, drink, whatever the hell you got to do. Just don't do all the bad stuff, people. Just hope no, don't blame me. If anything happens, don't blame Tino. So, well, I guess so. Then I guess we will say because I guess so. You're 2-2 then, or no, you're 2.5 and 1.5 or 1 because we gave you a half. And then you're Justin. I think you've actually got all of yours right so far, besides 1.
Crazy.
I know.
We'll see.
So
again, rooting to be wrong this week about my prediction.
Hopefully, you're 5 and 3 next week. 5, yeah. And then I forgot what the hell mine was. I forgot. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what day it is anymore. I'm gonna look it up. I think I got 1 of 1. I think if I remember correctly. Because I remember saying I don't know. But anyway, I'll look it up and figure it out. But this week, I'll remember this week. But this week, I'm gonna say that we see Grand Slam. I'm gonna guarantee that we see a Grand Slam. Some way, shape, or form. It'll probably be Burger. I'm gonna say Burger hits a Grand Slam. The way he's hitting the ball, he might as well. And then I'm gonna say my bold prediction. It came close. We almost did it this past weekend. Somebody's pitching a no-hitter or a perfect game.
Wow.
We almost did it as a team. If it wasn't for, of course, Bummer had to bum out our day, couldn't give us a no-hitter. So I'm going to say that one of them do it. You guys say it's a White Sox thing to do on the road to win. It's a White Sox thing to do to throw a no-hitter versus one of the best teams in baseball. I feel like, I mean, and it's kind of funny that they almost did it on the anniversary of Mark Burley's. When they showed that highlight, did you guys have any type of like bro? I had a whole flashback of when I was watching it in my childhood home, sitting there with my dad and my dad's friend and everybody. I was just like, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, damn. And
yeah,
when my neighbor was actually at the game, he got a ball signed and he has the ticket framed. So it's one of those things I'm like, every time I see that, but it's so crazy that like how long that has been. And they said it. The pitch clock would have been the perfect Mark Burley rule. Mark Burley wouldn't have even needed it. No. Games would have been over. Shit, they would have been over in an hour with the pitch clock with him. Yeah. So that is pretty much everything that we need to get to for this week. But I figured, as we do always, the last thing we do here on the channel, this stream for the day, we'll go through the chat real quick, see what everybody's doing here on this off day for wrestling and everything. We got the Mystery Lucky Man joined and subscribed yesterday. So what's up, man? Thanks for coming and hanging out. What's up, Eric? Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Eric says Liam Hendricks did beat cancer. Yes, he did. Thank goodness. I cannot wait. That I don't know where. I hope that he does come back. Like his first game is at home, but you know damn well that atmosphere and that like it's gonna be one of those things that we talk about at the end of the season. That's kind of like a moment, and hopefully by the end of the year we're talking about playoffs. Hopefully. Hi everyone, what's up? This is a new short football practice video for Northwich City and who? For his channel. Okay. Lucky guy. I will definitely check that out. We got some wrestling. Mercedes Monet. We got Tristan in the house. Thank you, Tristan, coming and hanging out. Chris agrees with you, Deech, that they're taking 2 out of 3 from Toronto. Man, I hope so. I pray that they do something. And that I just like these off days. I don't know. These off days kind of like relieve me of them. But then it's like tomorrow, it's like I want to watch them, but like I'm just like I don't want to be let down again. So, but I think that's a good way to end it here. I think we've pretty much went over everything for the past week. I don't think is there anything. Oh, I mean, if you guys want, we could talk about what Mrs. Clevenger did and all that fun stuff. But he said no, bro.
I don't touch any of that, man.
He said, no. I saw something yesterday. I was just like, oh my god! And I was scrolling through the TikToks, and all of a sudden, Gold Digger comes on, and I'm watching it, and all of a sudden, it's her, and then it's pictures of something that's of Oscar Cole liking all of her pictures, and then it's something of Clevenger of what he said on the. I'm just like, I'm dead. I'm like, I can't with this. So. Man, that's craziness. I don't know. Do you think that's affecting anything on this team? Do you think that has anything to do? Do you think they just say, I don't give a rat's ass?
If last year hadn't gone the exact same way this year is going, I'd say you might have an argument, but it's hard for me to feel like that's the problem when all of the problems seem to be the same problems that already existed.
Same problem. I just wanted to mention it because I saw it and I was like, damn. Like, I didn't realize, I don't know why, but at first I thought it was Oscar. I was like, damn, Oscar and Mike, but I didn't realize it was the same. I don't know. As long as he goes out there and pitches, I'm fine. So keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, he didn't have a good game versus the Phillies, but if you look at his numbers versus the Phillies, he's never pitched good versus the Phillies. So hopefully he figures it out versus Toronto. And because he pitches, he pitches.
He'll face Toronto.
Okay. Yeah, so anyway, but yeah, great way to end it here, guys. I appreciate you guys coming here, hanging out. Sorry, I start rambling on for a little bit. But guys, thank you so much. Before we go, if you guys want to let everybody know where they can find you, go make sure you follow the SouthSide boys. Deech is always on there putting some great content. He's got polls and everything, so we appreciate it. But if you guys want to go, so Justin, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's Justin KOSMC. So if you had a pen and paper when I said that, then you should be good to find me.
Deech.
I'm Southside Deech, but I don't know if I want.
Huh?
I said mine's Southside Deech, but I'm not sure if I want everyone to find me. So.
He said, I don't know. I mean, bro, honestly, I hate social media. I'm just so over it. But you go find us on the Southside Boys 23, as I said on Twitter. Make sure you guys go. As I said, Deech always puts some good polls. We got some stuff out there, always putting some. Man, the way it's growing is insane. Like I gotta give you some credit over there, Deech, because it's growing fantastic.
Yeah, you're a great social guy, Deech.
You're doing great out there. I might need to hire you for my Tino's time.
I just pour Miracle Grow on my phone, and that seems to be working. So
I keep doing it. Whatever works. Whatever works. But guys, thank you guys for coming and hanging out here. Remember, guys, go follow your boy Tino at Tino's Time 1996. We're on SoundCloud and Spotify. Tino's Time Wrestling on Instagram and Facebook. Tino's Time 1996 on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. We're also on Twitch now, Tino's Gaming 2023. So go check out Twitch, subscribe, follow. We'll be doing our second gaming this Saturday. And then on Sunday, we'll be doing our first MLB 23, the show. Franchise mode. I'm going to play 3 games with the White Sox in this series, and let's hope that they do better in virtual than they do in real life. So, guys, come and hang out all week, the rest of the week here. We'll be live tomorrow night for Friday Night SmackDown and the gaming this week, and then next week. Next week, though, we're going to be starting the show here. I think I told you guys, if I don't know if it is okay with you guys, but 5 o'clock, that worked for you guys. 5 o'clock here, everybody. Draft is on, NFL draft, so we'll be doing a doubleheader on Tino's Time. We'll be getting off here, and then we'll be getting right back on to watch the draft. So it's going to be another great week. We got the NFL draft, WWE draft, and so much coming up. So, guys, Enjoy your Thursday night. Happy 420 again to all the stoners. Everybody light it up. Have a great Thursday night. And I will see you guys all tomorrow night for Friday Night SmackDown. And until next Thursday when we're back here with the Southside Boys, have a great week, everybody. And we'll see you guys for episode number 6 next Thursday.